It's what the streets want to know.
Hell yeah.
That real, that raw.
The drug so powerful, it will make you sell the clothes off your back.
It's straight drop, baby.
Yeah, baby.
From the people you want to hear it from. It's time to let the dog off the leash.
Run, Chico, run.
Chico, no.
It's Unleashed, Reloaded.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dawgface Clarett. This is Dawgface TV podcast. This is a special episode of the Unleashed segment, the Unleashed Reloaded segment of Dawgface TV's podcast. My next guest, I don't even want to call him a guest because he's not a guest. He's really not a guest this time. He's a reoccurring figure in the world of all things social media, all things podcasting. He is a champion collegiate running back for my arch nemesis, the dirty, despicable, conniving Ohio State Buckeyes. 2 thumbs down on that. All right. 3. Do we have 3 thumbs? 2 thumbs and 2 big toes down on that. Don't like him. I did not like him as of last weekend, but my love for him has come rushing back. Pause. Right. Yeah. In the infamous words of Mason, Diddy, and Dame, pause. But this brother is a championship collegiate running back for the Ohio State. I don't even want to say the name. It just don't taste right in my mouth. Pause. Don't want to do it. So listen, this brother is a serial entrepreneur. This brother is a walking encyclopedia when it comes to all things sports, be it high school, collegiate, pro. He is a champion. He was the driving force behind his team when they took the country by storm. When this man ran motherfuckers down like a combination of Barry Sanders and Walter fucking Payton. Couldn't be stopped. I'm old enough to remember I was watching it and I hated him. I never imagined that I would ever meet him. I never imagined that we would have anything in common. And I never imagined. I said to myself, if I ever meet him, I'm going to take my knife and I'm wait till we go into the store. I'm gonna stick the fucking knife in his tire. Them motherfucker. That's what I said to myself. He's a serial entrepreneur. He is this brother right here. He's a testament. He's a living example of just keep on living. He's a championship running back. He is the reason why Ohio State University won at all. And he's also the reason why they were able to recruit off of him for years after him leaving school. He should write a book. I know he is writing a book, but he should absolutely write a book that would stand as a testament for young black men and women and brown men and women and orange men and women the world over. He's also a contributing factor on Cam and Mace's It Is What It Is podcast. Shout out to Treasure Wilson. I had the sister name wrong last time, but I got it right because I'm watching that. I'm watching that shit. I'm watching everything from Cam's freestyles. I'm watching the whole dynamic of that shit. Maurice Clarett is in the building. How you doing, brother?
All is well.
You like that opening?
Yeah, listen to me. I love the opening, but then when you lean back and I seen the envelope,
you worry about the wrong thing. Yeah. You worry about the little old thing. Don't worry about it. That's the problem with black people right now. Y'all focus on the wrong thing. Don't worry about this maize and blue.
Listen to me. Well, listen. I can imagine that there's a lot of supporters who are from the state of Michigan. So yeah, y'all been beating up on us, and we had our run the last decade.
Yes,
this is the 4th one. So the honorable thing to do is to give somebody their flowers when they do it. Hey, you all got us. there will be another year, but I had to get that out the way.
Hey Mo, not only have you had to suffer the indignity of that terrible loss when you guys were projected to win by double digits.
21,
right?
Yeah. It's all good. All good.
Hey Mo, look at God. won't Jesus do it, Mo?
Yeah, listen to me.
All praise due to the Most High, like the Muslims say. Right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm a man of this caliber, right?
Right.
When I had my fun over the last decade, and I was talking crazy.
Yes,
you have to have the ability when things ain't going your way. I will still bang the set. Yes,
right. Don't be a Drake. Don't be a sore loser.
Nah, you can't be a sore loser. You got to tip your hat, say, "Hey, man, look, y'all did it," and you got to go back to the drawing board. But that's what makes it a rivalry. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it what it is. But the brothers up north got it done. I gotta give it to them.
Hey, Mo, guess what?
What's up?
Not only do you have to suffer and live with that for the next 12 months, right?
Yep.
But you also have to live under the shadow of the Detroit Lions and I am predicting, right, their Super Bowl run. How's that karma, Mo?
It's just so I don't have beef with the Lions. I do have beef with Michigan.
No. We got one football team. Y'all got 8. We're not trying to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We don't like y'all at all. I don't like driving when I get to I-75, when I'm leaving from Michigan, I'm driving down south, right? I don't like if there was another option, if there was another route that I take. I got us locked in. Even if I fly out that motherfucker, I got to fly over some part of Ohio. Don't like it. Y'all got us locked in. I don't like you motherfuckers, and I ain't going. Sorry.
Hey, well, that's to me. Well, I was actually rooting for Detroit last year when they got to. I think they made it to. They didn't make it to the conference championship. Yes, I think they did.
Yeah,
they played
against. I think they played LA, right? With I think our former quarterback.
Yes,
Matt Stafford.
Yes. Yes, and I think because we thought that we would have a Super Bowl with the Ravens and the actual Lions, and so I was actually rooting for that to happen. So I was rooting for them last year. So I'm a proximity person. Like if my Browns or the Bengals lose, who's ever closest to me, I'm rooting for them. And so it happened to be Detroit.
And so it is with. I don't know if it's like that with other regions, but in the Midwest. We are the same way. It's about proximity. If Detroit can't win, I'm rooting for anything Minnesota, anything Green Bay, anything Chicago, anything Ohio. If Detroit can't win, that's a Midwest thing. That's a Midwest thing. So as co-Midwesters, we do have some things that we can agree on, and we do understand that if we listen. So like even me, when I'm out of town doing my thing, and I see some guys from Ohio, if they in trouble.
We together.
We in Vegas, when we in LA, and I spot you, I know, you from the Midwest, when we rocking out, we rocking out together because it's the proximity thing. Black folk love the plantation shit. They love it. We love that plantation mentality shit. We gonna rap together. We gonna rap together. Maurice Clarett is in the motherfucking house. Mo, listen. How you doing, brother? First of all, how's the family? How's the children? How's everything going for you?
Oh, everything's phenomenal. Aside for the jokes, man, life is great. I just had just to hit with the family. Daughter finish up her first half a year at school and college, so that's phenomenal. Just to feel like, man, kids, they grow up so fast. My son has a 5th birthday coming up on Friday, and then I have another son who just turned 2. So we have 2 jokers who are rolling.
That's the one that run the house. The 2-year-old, he been here before.
Yeah, so these jokers,
Uncle Doggy said, "Listen, no, come on, calm down, player."
Hey, these jokers, hey, those jokers are 1,000,000 miles a minute right now. Man.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. What's going on in the world of what is it is Moland? Because you do so many different things, man.
Yeah.
You are like me in many respects because we do a lot. We have our hand in a lot. We try to achieve a lot. It's like we're operating out of a spirit of trying to do as much as we possibly can do.
Yeah, so, for the mass majority, like a lot of people may not know, a lot of people end up seeing me on the podcast with Mason Cam, and they've seen me just out and about over the years, speaking to different teams and things of that nature. But what I actually do for the most part is that I own medical practices and real estate. And I own about, with partners, we own about 50 different locations here in Ohio, all foot and ankle clinics and some vascular clinics. And vascular services are services for people we're trying to prevent amputations. So people who may get arteries clogged inside their legs, will go inside of the arteries, clean out the plaque or whatever is causing the blood from stopping to flow. We help to clean out that with the phenomenal physicians that we have, and just all other podiatric locations throughout the state of Ohio, Northwest Ohio, up there by Toledo, all through Cleveland, through Central Ohio, and through Southern Ohio. I'm also an investor into real estate, between apartment complexes, single family homes, and various stuff like that. But there's some other smaller things that I do, but most of my days are dominated by that stuff. But, then people see me on a podcast, and I look at the stuff that I do with Mason Cam as just me having fun, and, you just shoot the shit with people about sports, and just enjoying the culture. Just enjoying time with those dudes. But that's literally what's my world. I go up to UConn on a regular basis, to men's basketball team. I work with those guys, been working with them for like the last 5.5 to 6 years. And this season I was going down to Ohio State. I go down every Tuesday.
I saw
and
That's
work
major.
with the players. Yeah. So that's that's probably why even more so now, after 20 years, I wasn't able to go back to the university, and then Ryan Day was the guy who brought me back and opened that door. So just from a loyalty standpoint, for him doing something for me that couldn't be done for 20 years, I'm just going to pledge my allegiance to him, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I just told him, you might not have a lot of people out there like that, but when somebody's your guy, you got to stick with him. When it wasn't popular to bring me back, he brought me back. But the flip
Absolutely.
side of that coin was that when it's not popular to stand next to you, when you need an umbrella, you need a friend in the rain, bro, I'm here for you. So that's my allegiance to him. And I was happy that he was able to make that happen and get that done.
Man, hey, listen, Mo, I'm gonna tell you something. So we talk. If we don't talk, we text. We communicate, right? We communicate on a fairly frequent basis. You told me about maybe the possibility of you being allowed back into the locker rooms, the training facilities, into the on the field, right?
Yep.
So this as a source of encouragement, right? Listen, brother, I didn't talk to you because I was moving around doing my own thing, creating havoc. I do, Mo. That's what I do. I'm proud of it, right? I looked up, and I think it was like, I don't know, I haven't been paying attention the entire season, Mo, but I looked up, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, maybe. I looked, and I'm flipping through ESPN, and guess who I see?
Yeah.
Guess who I see on the side? I look, you know how you gotta look and shit. I'm getting old, my glasses. Right? I look, I said, I look like my man Mo right there. Because I got a little money, so I got the TV. Go back. I went back and froze that motherfucker. I said, God damn. I said, it ain't happening. I said, look at God. Mo, how did it feel walking back onto that campus after 20 years being restricted from doing so? How did it feel?
Yeah, it was a double fold deal. Like, one, it was happy because sometimes, man, you don't realize, but you suppress you can suppress something in your brain, right? And I think that came from being incarcerated, to where you can make things not exist in your mind, and you can just suppress it. But suppressing just means that the feeling still exists, but you just know how to emotionally control how you feel about something. And so I'm a sports lover, man. And when I went back, and just to be in the sporting atmosphere, and just a competitive atmosphere, there was like a feeling of joy around that. Just because, man, it can be two people kickboxing, it can be two people fighting in the alley. Like, I just love like a competitive environment, right? And so, be it with football, and just the amount of years that I have put into it, that was cool. But probably the most rewarding thing was that in concert, my daughter was a freshman this year, and for her entire life, she's never seen me have a relationship with the university. And
Wow.
so she had seen me like after week 3. and she came up to me and she said, "Daddy, I've never seen you this happy."
Right.
Just her entire life, she's always seen me working, like just like a man. You get to that stage where you're just working and you're trying to do something for your family, do something for other people, and you're a facilitator or you're handling some sort of responsibility that you have going on. So your life is more task oriented or business oriented, and people never get a chance to see anything other than you just basically handling business. And I didn't realize that for my daughter's entire life, that's how she see me. And so she's like, I just don't ever think I've ever seen you this happy. So it was a moment I was like, fuck, she about to make me cry just for her, like just her saying it, like made
Right.
me emotionally feel different. But
Right.
then I was happy that she had a chance to see her father in an honorable state. And so that's my affinity for Ryan Day
That's
because he
major.
he, he opened that door. So
Right.
it's bigger than just like some football shit with me. It's just like, what, like I think every person wants their kids to see them at their best or to be seen in a positive light. I don't care who you could be a street nigga, you could be the most diabolical person in the world. You still want to have a positive impact over your kids. And so for me, that's basically my deal with the university and just that entire experience. It was just phenomenal. And my daughter, her saying that was probably like the highlight of my year. And so it's been a phenomenal experience to be connected to the players, the coaches, but more importantly, for her to look at like, hey, the university I'm going to right now, my dad, I can see him in the light that he's supposed to be seen in. So
Hey, Mo, let me tell you something, Mo. Listen, you just hit a couple of points that are absolutely major, and they speak volumes above and beyond exactly how you express them in word. Bro, listen, you just said a couple of different things. I'm gonna tackle them. Shout out to Ryan Day, Coach Day. We fuck with you. In Ebonics, we fuck with you
yeah.
because who your predecessors. I ain't gonna get into it because of Mo on the line with me. I do that on my own shit. But listen, talk about redemption. Talk about, man, look at how the world of college sports across the board has changed, right? With the whole NIL thing going on and all right, what? But let me just tell you something, Mo. Above and beyond that, I think the most significant point or portion or part of what you just said was my children who are in the world now, who are experiencing, learning, taking in, seeing, right? They can at least, because she's proud of you, but knowing your history and knowing, your growth and your development, understand she's looking back in hindsight and really kind of like developing the understanding of who you are and how much impact you had on the world prior to her even being born. But let me tell you something, brother. To have your children to see you knowing who what you did and knowing in terms of your success in the college level, right? Knowing what you meant to that school, knowing how that school used you to carve out a championship. They used you for more than just to run a football. They used you for recruiting and everything fucking else, right?
Yeah.
So the impact that you had on the school from a financial point is immeasurable. They made tens of millions of dollars doing your 10, 12, 11 game season there, all off of your name, right? They made millions of people across the country hate you because I was one of them. I'll tell you. I hated Maurice Clarett. Well, that nigga ain't injured. Huh? Did he come back from Youngstown this week or no? Right? I heard he was thugging. Right? I'm like, hell no. But to have your daughter to be able to look at you and be able to use your name and not have to shrink. Oh,
Yeah.
There are no conversations about Maurice Clarett. No, now she can hold her head high. That's my dad.
Yep.
And it's not about what you did, it's about what you're doing. It ain't about where you're from, it's about where you're at. Man, that shit makes you want to cry. I understand because listen, bro, I've been in the street my whole life, bro. I have transformed myself out of the whole. It ain't just about like removing myself from the situations. It's about psychologically. I don't think like I used to think. My whole thought process has changed. I don't wake up looking for an angle. I wake up looking for opportunities to be successful. I look up. That's what it's. I don't look for angles. I look for opportunities. Right.
No doubt. Yep.
Listen, bro. To see when I was able to walk, I have 6 children. Right. 7. Right. When I was able to walk across, when I was able to watch my children walk across the stage at Spelman in that winning state, I was able to sit in the audience and clap, bro. And then doing my own personal business ventures and all the companies that I own and the different things that I do in the world of entertainment, but just without even entertainment, just to have my name being mentioned, or to be able for them to be able to see me in the light of a businessman, right? Versus what I thought about myself when I was growing up, bro. It ain't about what nobody else thought about me. It's about what I thought about myself. I never thought I would be in a position where I would be sitting in boardrooms and sitting on conference calls and doing anything other than some criminal shit that would possibly lead me back to being incarcerated. So everything that I'm doing now, this is all a one-off. I'm doing things with my life that people in my family who never got in trouble before, I'm accomplishing things that they haven't even accomplished. And I think that it's in part because of my experience in the streets that makes me go harder at everything I do. Do you ever look at your past experiences and look at them as a source of inspiration and encouragement in terms of the things that you're doing right now?
Oh, absolutely. Everything that I've done, be it, because I was a knucklehead prior to even getting in football. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I had went to juvenile 3 times, and eventually football kind of put me on a different path. But even when I was playing football, start hustling weed, selling dope, just like low level nigga shit, right?
Mhm.
And when football was essentially taken out of my life, that thing just kept on growing, right? And so whether you're doing shit with violence or you're doing stuff with the streets, but it's still like you're still operating in such a level where it's low
Mhm.
level. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like the taker mentality of the world, the selfish mentality of the world. And so through all the failures and all of the adversity and all of the reflecting in prison and all of the reflecting, like when you just don't have shit going on in the world, or nothing to look to, no opportunity, or people wanting to be around you, or you're not contributing, all of that stuff like ends up giving you life lessons. And I think the biggest thing that I think that allows me to go harder is that you reflect and look at how much time you wasted.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of people may feel that, like when you go to prison, you look at how much time you wasted either doing the shit or obviously doing the time from the stupid shit. And what makes me, I would categorize it as fearless, is that you've had so much failure and you've understood the cycle of failure and just those experiences. A lot of people scared to do shit because they don't understand what it's like to lose everything. But once you've lost everything, freedom, money, and you've gotten over that fear, I think like death is a fear. Then I think like losing everything is a fear, or losing people are a fear. And I think people operate, differently in those buckets. But once you've lost everything and you have a bunch of life experience, you say, hey man, like it doesn't feel as bad as I want it to, but I do know how it feels. And so I'm going to go pursue whatever dream or vision I have in my head with ambition and fearlessness, just because I've survived like my bad times. And through reflection, you start to realize, man, you shortchange yourself with street shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's most people. Like when you actually sit back, if you somebody who has done anything and you've matured, you sit back and you start to realize, like, man, street shit is really like the lowest level of shit. And you start to say to yourself, like, man, in the real world, the world of business, I can apply myself much greater. Now I can take all of this ambition and all of this these characteristics and traits and experiences I've learned in the street, and now I just need to learn a new industry to put this stuff on. And so that's basically what I've done. And it's only through growth, it's only through getting around new people, it's only through even you softening up a little bit for people to be comfortable around you, to share information, to share opportunity, to then say, hey, this is how I help you. And so all of that shit, all of the failure, the adversity, the getting over shortcomings of myself, like all of that shit ended up basically being like the propeller of it. Even like I tell you, one of the greatest things that happened to me, man, to be criticized like by somebody in your neighborhood is one thing. To be criticized through national media and to absorb that, to get over that, and to become comfortable with that, but then to like become bulletproof from experiencing that, I just don't have the same. I just have like a different um relationship with criticism. It just doesn't bother me as much as it may bother
Mhm.
somebody else. Like somebody can be like, fuck that nigga. I'm like, all right, man, like that's how you feel. But it's only from going through so much shit before where
Mhm.
I just don't internalize. Like if somebody says fuck me these days, I'll be like, man, I remember I used to be in that space. Something may be wrong with him. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because like, and I know I kind of got into a couple different buckets, but
No, I'm we
that's
with you.
yeah, but
This
that's
platform, we cerebral around this motherfucker. We ain't just crazy. We cerebral. I get
yeah.
on with your
Yeah,
good with your flow.
yeah, you just have a like just those, just through life, man. I just ended up just in like to rebuild yourself and to redeem yourself is to be broken down and get into a face and a space of like reevaluating and dealing with everything and growing and getting books in your life and people in your life and perspective. And I just remember this brings up like a crazy moment. I was in prison, right? And all the times we always have these moments in prison where somebody older who ends up telling you just like the reality of it, right? And there was an old dude in there named Junior, and he was like, one day I was in the day room.
No pun intended. No pun intended. Oh, dude
Yeah,
named Junior.
yeah. So,
Even in prison, you still can be Junior, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he was an old school dude, man. And he was like, we was at the table one day, early morning, because I was one of those dudes who get up like 6 o'clock in the morning and go drink coffee and go hit the bar after that, go work out. And he just was like, like basically like he was teaching me the acceptance and the responsibility that you fucked your life up. And it wasn't nobody else. And it's only you who can repair your life. And he was basically like mentoring me, like, yo, bro, like, don't sit here and wallow in your pain. Don't sit here and expect somebody to feel sad for you. Like everybody has a sad story, right? But
Mhm.
you're the only one who basically can fix yourself. And I just remember it was like just a small conversation, man, that stood out to me. You know what I'm saying? And it was a conversation that made me reflect like, damn, like, what is it or what am I not that keeps on putting me in a situation where street shit makes sense or this dumbass mentality, this nigga mentality that I have makes sense. And it's through that those things help you to redeem yourself. And those like shortcomings are the only things that bring these conversations with you, with yourself. And so it was only through that, bro, that I've got to this. But to your point, the original point where we start talking, the original point was that all of the fucked up shit actually ended up helping me, but I'm also giving information to other people that who may be in the same situation, be in a fucked up situation that they don't want to be in. You can't get out of it until you start to face the reality of like where you're at and be honest about where you're at and why you're at where you at, and then you address the behavior or the thinking that keeps you where you at. And it's not until you get to that space and that place, man, that you actually grow the fuck up and start to produce different results.
Hey, Mo, let me tell you something, Mo. I can remember hearing those type of. I can remember having those type of conversations, being at on the receiving end of those conversations from staff member inside the youth homes. I was in Wayne County and Oakland County youth home. Uh, I can remember having those kind of conversations, being on the receiving end, listening to grown men who were staff members telling me that, hey, no matter this is it's all on you. It doesn't matter about your mother, your father, doesn't matter the neighborhood, doesn't matter what was right, what was wrong. At the end of the day, because I was wise enough, and the staff members, it was Mr. Jones, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Chisholm. Mr. Chisholm was the first one who gave me the message to the black man. I
That's
was
the black
30
man.
years old. He gave me the message to the black man because he saw the spark of intellect in my eyes, but he knew that I was an undercultivated young black boy, right? He knew that because he's an adult. He's been through it. He's been where I had yet to go at that point in time. So he gave me those books, and whenever I counsel or talk to young black men on a one-on-one basis, I always give them a book. I give them more than just meet the words, right? Because that book, The Message to the Black Man, the autobiography of Malcolm X, and The Miseducation of the Negro. Those were the 3 books he gave me. He brought them to my cell. I was locked up. I was locked up, but I was in the youth home on lockdown for knocking the motherfucker out. So what he would do, he'd bring me a book in my cell at 13, 14 years old, and he would give me books, and he'd like, read that. And I was always on lockdown, so he would bring me books and let me read them. But I can remember being on the receiving end of people telling me that all this, you don't know it yet. You don't understand it yet. But this is, it may not be your fault, because as a young kid, there are other factors that contribute to making you who you are, right? That are personal, that are inside your family dynamic, and then the community as a whole. But you're only going to be able to climb out of what you recognize, even at this young age, is a fucked up situation, if you change yourself. And I can remember him having that conversation with me at 13. I did not know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant, and I couldn't appreciate it. I knew what it meant, but I couldn't appreciate it because I didn't think it was an applicable thing in my life, because I had no mother. Mother was on drugs. My father didn't have a father, so it was just me. So, but I can remember time after time, to your point, whenever I went to the youth home from the age of 12 to 17, I went to the youth home maybe 20 times. Maybe. That might be a low number. And I can remember time after time after time, when I would get locked up, I would be sitting that motherfucker holding cell waiting to get processed into that goddamn, to the mainline holding facility. And I can remember saying to myself, bro, it got to be something. I didn't know. It got to be something different than this. I didn't know, but I knew I didn't want to keep on getting locked up. And so even as I went through the admission part of the youth home, the staff members would look at me because they knew I had a greater force in me. They would shake their heads, and the same person who gave me the Message to the Black Man and the Miseducation of the Negro, man, he stopped talking to me after my 13th, 14th time going to youth home, because he knew I knew better. And I felt shame. I didn't just rob me a motherfucker, but when I see Mr. Chisholm, Mr. Chisholm. When I seen Mr. Chisholm, I felt shame. I was just robbing the motherfucker Davo yesterday, but when I see him, I had to put my head down, bro. And it was through those type of conversations and through that kind of relationship, that's when I learned that the first person that I did not want to disappoint, it wasn't my mother. It wasn't my father. It was a staff member in Oakland County Children's Village. I started thinking of different ways to handle situations and to handle myself. At 15 and 16, it didn't really stick because I ended up going to prison. But I started to be more cerebral about the things I allowed myself to get into, because I didn't want to disappoint. That's some crazy shit, bro. It wasn't about me wanting to not disappoint my mom or my grandma or my uncle, my aunts. It was about me not wanting to disappoint a staff member who showed me a measure or a degree of love and understanding. That's the first time I ever said that, Mo. I swear to God. I stopped crazy shit, not because I didn't want to disappoint my mama, but because I didn't want to disappoint a staff member.
Because he really believed in, like, so what you basically said is like he really believed in you and he really loved you, and he gave you a piece of information that wanted you to tap into whatever potential you had. And so these dudes see and like, even you put my mind in a space where when they see us back there and you see so many people over so many years, over so much time, you either see a bunch of wasted life, you see a bunch of potential, you see people who really shouldn't be in there, who basically got caught up into some bullshit, or you understand that it's some people who come from dire circumstances and that's their reality. You know what I'm saying? Reality. And they can't think, they can't think past that. And there's a guy named Keller Conte who was like that with me. He was the warden of the prison, and he was whatever Mr. Chisholm was to you. And even with me being the way I was carrying myself in prison, when you talked about you felt shameful, he invested in me so much and wanted to put me in the right programs and wanted to see me do well in prison, that I felt obligated to him more than my mother, more than my child's mother, more than anybody who did anything. Because I felt like, when you in that state of mind, you incarcerated, you have nothing, and somebody has a serious discussion with you, it resonates totally different than just being out in society. And he was like, yo, bro, you can get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And you can improve yourself, but you have to be a lot more educated than what you are. Basically, he was calling me a dumb nigga without being a dumb nigga.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like how it computed in my head was like, you don't talk real well, you don't have any academic prowess to yourself, like you don't speak outside of anything but these 3 or 4 things. Like, my nigga, you can be here for 4 years. That's what that's how it was processing to me. And so when you said that about Mr. Chisholm, it's the same thing, you know, but it's only through that mess that even when I'm talking to you, you can hear the passion. Even when I first start seeing you do interviews, it takes a person to go through certain shit for somebody to see somebody else talking a certain way to understand where that spirit comes from, or just where a passion comes from. It don't matter what you're describing. It's like you have to go through life experience to like speak in a tone sonically or describe something in a way where I've been through something. And then when I can talk about some harsh shit in an intellectual way, I just know what it took for me to get to that place, and I know what I had to go through. So you kind of see it in other people, whether they older, younger, whether they from Michigan, whether they from fucking Oklahoma, whether they from Texas, California, Florida. It don't matter. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And we just all end up in land where we at in different places. But if you ask somebody, like, man, it's just like this, right? Ohio State, we lost, and I'm about to make the parable of football in life. When you win, there's not a whole bunch of shit that you learn. You know, it's only through losses that you have deep reflection and that you actually go back to the drawing board and you say, okay, what the fuck did we do wrong? Right? Because when you win it in life, it's like, motherfucker, what the fuck do I have to fix? It's like the nigga who be like, yo, it's a nigga who hustling, and you telling this nigga, like, yo, bro, can you make a transition and get the fuck out of here? Nigga ain't trying to hear none of that shit, right? But then when they get locked up, it's like, man, dog told me, this person told me, this person told me, this person told me. And it's only through the loss that you start to address shit. And that's where you see people in prison, like, had I listened or had I took heed to something. But the wisdom of everything is, when you go through that and you get through it, do you have the ability when you're winning again to listen to people? To then say, hey, even while I'm winning, can this person give me some information that will either prolong the winning from their experience or build on top of what the fuck that I'm doing? And I don't know, that, like, just even when you were saying that stuff right there, that just it brought so many thoughts to my mind, just about personal experience.
Well, I've never articulated that to anybody. Well, I just told you about, because see, listen, bro, I've been through so much shit in life. I'm still learning from my own experiences as I travel throughout the world now. I'm reflecting back on different, but oftentimes when I come in contact with people, places, and things, bro, it jars something in my mind. It causes me to reflect, like, damn, okay. So I am constantly, bro, I am a growing enigma. Bro, I don't even understand a lot of shit going on in here until I come to an experience. I said, oh, that's what that was at 12, at 15, at 17, at 20. That's what that was. That was the feeling or emotion that I was contemplating or fighting or going. I'm learning now. I've never told that story. I want to shout out Mr. Chisholm. I want to shout out Mr. Jones, shout out Mr. Mann, shout out Mr. McNeil, and shout out Mr. Anderson, right? Because what's the other motherfucker name? Mr. Hall, is it Mr. Hall? I done forgot the motherfucker name, man. But they were all good black men to me, and they were some of the first positive examples of, because I come from a situation where it's crack, heroin, robbery, death, murder, deceit, and deception going on at all times, right? So and another thing is, some of the first black men, and that's some fucked up shit, Mo. Some of the first examples of good black men I ever saw were the staff members in the youth home.
Yes, that's wild.
I'm telling you, the guy. Now I have uncles and shit who went to college and shit like that, but their life and their story didn't really have any effect on me. I didn't even, right? But in terms of people who had an impact on me, who had discussions with me, right? Their words really had an impact on me and my whole thought process. Bro, I'm willing to bet you that there are hundreds of thousands of young black men who the first time they ever saw a good, positive black man on a consistent level was when they got incarcerated.
I have 1,000%.
That's some shit, bro. That's some psychological shit for your ass, Mo.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I'm pretty sure when this comes out, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be people in the comments who gonna be sharing their experience too. Yeah, I don't even know what to say after that, but you're 100% correct. And I just started thinking about Mr. Ward and other people black guys that I know who were in the system who became like, and these guys would go run youth midnight basketball leagues, and they was doing that all as an intervention to keep young dudes off the streets. Mr. Dobbs, but these were all, just think about that. Just even crazy to even say that. Mr. Dobbs, Mr. Ward, Mr. Harold, these were all black men in some capacity who either worked for the youth center, was a probation officer or something, but these guys became like the ecosystem, or the guys that if you was just a young teenager out of control that you identified as a cool black man, but they were all from the system. It wasn't like guys who had uncles or fathers through the neighborhoods, because you know the whole Midwest thing, Detroit, Youngstown, Cleveland, all of that stuff it's the same thing. You know,
Same shit.
yeah, it's the same shit.
Same shit.
It's the industrial towns. Is people will rob, steal, and kill if you're not a part of these factories or a part of these mills in some regards. And are you gonna have some low-level factory job that, for the most part, young dudes ain't working or wasn't working then, they still ain't working now, who just want something different. And so as a result from that, these black men who become part of the system, these becomes like the guiding light or figures for young dudes.
Man, listen, as I sit here talking to you, bro, it's always like they say, it's always an honor when players
Likewise.
link, right?
Likewise.
It's always an honor when players link. Listen, brother, it is what it is podcast.
Mhm.
It is one of the most popular YouTube. Listen, and the It Is What It Is podcast, it crosses genres. It's not just a black thing. When you have Cam and Mace, who are two legendary figures in the world of music, and I hope they hear this. I hope they hear me talking positively about that, right?
You gotta clip it so I can share it with them.
I'm gonna motherfucking clip this shit.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna clip that. Listen, brother. When it comes to, I'm a fan of Gillian Wallow. I'm a fan of Big Facts podcast. I'm a fan of podcasts, period. I'm a fan of black men getting in front of a microphone, having their way with whatever the subject is. I am especially affected by Cam and Mason, what they're doing, and the whole staff of the It Is What It Is, because they are doing it their way. They have entered a space unlike anything. Listen, there's never been a sports podcast that tackles the world of entertainment when they want to.
Yes.
Right? The way they want to do it, and in the style and fashion that they're doing it in. There's never been no shit like that. When Cam, like, well, I used to be hitting shit. I don't know what they got to do with sports. But listen, bro, when he talking, that shit resonates, bro.
Yeah.
You're learning about these two men who were stars, who are stars.
Yeah.
You're getting it. So listen, all we get is a music video, bro. We don't know that that's the real them. All we get is some MTV, BET, VH1 shit, bro. You getting these niggas real personalities. That's a learning experience for motherfuckers, man. That's a learning experience.
Hey, look, I'm laughing now.
Right now. That laugh is infectious. That laugh is why It Is What It Is podcast is taking the world by storm, because the laughter is genuine. It's like, listen, I have been watching that shit, saying to myself, did that nigga just say that? Did he just bring it together? Did he just tell the truth on himself? See, listen, it's a bunch of truth telling. It's a bunch of truth telling going on up there. And bro, the laughter, like, bro, I have been on the ground laughing, bro. I almost crashed my car listen to laughing at that shit, bro. Like, did he just say that? Yeah, nothing back.
Hey, so here we go, right? So first off, man, sometimes I might be laughing too much, right? So when you have these AirPods in, they pick up everything, right? And so my mic is actually live as he's explaining the story. So no matter when they're in the studio and you see the single shot on him, we actually see like the other shot with everybody in the shot. And so I'm dying laughing, but on the recording, you can hear me. But
Right.
I'll be like, yo, nigga, this shit is fucking hilarious, right? And I'm saying, I'm talking about, and I think what makes it funny is that it's just these niggas just being them.
Right.
And there's nothing scripted. It's just, and so I've kind of found out, like, because I've done so many shows with them and I talk to them a lot, you can kind of figure out what get them going. Like once you get them reminiscing, and then like you if
There
you
you go.
yeah,
There you go.
if you could set it up in a way to where like you just like because like I create the topics for the shows that I'm on, and then after a while you just kind of figure out which person like to talk about what, or what you can kind of throw in the air to get them going,
Right.
or are like if I say something I know like Cam's view on it, then Cam gonna say something that just get him going, and then once those two get going during the show and they just improv, man, the
It's up there.
shit
It's up
oh
there.
man,
It's on the floor.
it's yeah, but I tell you this too. More than anything, I never knew entertainment. Like, okay, so you would see entertainment as music, or you would see entertainment as like, somebody gets on the screen and they shoot a movie or shoot a documentary or whatever it may be, right?
Mhm.
But I've never seen people who skillfully entertain,
Mhm.
and that is a skill where you entertain and you know what people like to hear, and just your timing with the words or your timing with stories, or there's certain parts in the show that may be slow and I'll see Cam and Mace pick them up, or you can kind of see how they just play off each other. So there's an original element to it, and then there's definitely like like, hey, you watching the master at work, you
Mhm.
watching dudes who,
All the
hey man,
impromptu. It is
yeah,
impromptu. And
yeah,
it's,
like you come here to be entertained, you come here to listen to sports. We're going to do both, but I'm not going to do it without my personality being in it. So the first thing is that like, so the way it works is like the show is about those two, and then everybody who has sense, you're just a fixture in that ecosystem. So you're just constantly teeing it up for those two to be the stars. And I think like everybody, be it when OJ was on, be it when Michael Irvin was on, or still on, be it that I'm on, and be it even with Treasure Stat Baby,
yes.
even with that, everybody
Right.
kind of knows their lane. And I think like, I think just from a group dynamic standpoint, everybody allowing that to keep on being the main thing, and you don't have people trying to overshadow what the main thing is. I think that's why it works, and it's fucking hilarious, bro. It's fucking hilarious,
Let
man.
me let me tell you something, Mo. So you have different generations all in play, right?
Yep.
In one big melting pot on that show. You have Cam and Mason. You have them. They are who they are, right? They are
Yep.
who they are. And you have you, and you have other contributors like Mike, uh, and you had OJ. Rest in peace, Juice, right? Bro, let me tell you something, right? The funniest shit that happens on that show is looking at Stat's face, because bro, she is a whole different generation, and she listens to that shit like, "Are you fucking serious?" You look at Stat baby face, and the camera cut to her, and she put her head down. First of all, she understands that the shit they saying, that shit is not politically correct.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
no, no.
politically or socially correct. She knows that. Stat is like she's like the, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, she's like the quality control person. She's like, wait, I don't know if you probably say it, because she's more in tune with what this world accepts and doesn't accept. We old, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When she put her head down and started laughing, she is saying to us, y'all know that shit y'all just said ain't
So,
y'all.
matter of fact, so she's from, and you're very familiar and been down to Tampa.
Yeah,
She's from the suburbs of Tampa.
right.
She'll tell you, she said,
Bradenton, Lakeland, yeah.
yeah, I don't know the demographic, but she said she grew up in
It's
a
Tampa.
she said, I grew up in a predominantly white school in the suburbs of Tampa.
Yeah.
And so I can only have context, or I think with a 22-year-old hearing this, being from the suburbs of Tampa, like just think about it. So it's hilarious to me.
To
It
see her.
sounds, yeah, yeah.
Right, that's funny as fuck. You see her, because sometimes it take a minute for her. She's intelligent. She's extremely bright, and intelligent.
Yeah.
But sometimes it take a minute for it to dawn on her what the fuck just happened. Like did the nigga just? Oh hell no! Are you serious? That shit. Hey, listen, bro. I am proud that everybody in just the world. So we call it the YouTube streets, Mo. There's a name.
YouTube streets.
It's called
I didn't know.
the YouTube streets, because people think that YouTube is the same thing as social media. It's not.
No.
In the world of social media, people want to watch to see you crash out. They watching to see you do some crazy shit, or to hear you say something that's crazy or off the cuff. In the world, see, and you can't type in Instagram, you can't type in your search engine how to build a house. You can't type in how to change an engine, you can't type give me all the information on Mozart or Rembrandt or Michael Jackson or OJ or Maurice. You can't type that into the search engine and come back with anything. But in the world of YouTube, YouTube is genuinely a place and a source of information. No matter what you seek, you can get it on YouTube.
Yes, correct.
It's a whole different world. And the audience that you command on YouTube is an entirely different world than the world of social media. People,
100%.
they subscribe to you. They care about your take, your disposition, your view, your vantage point, your concept on whatever the particular subject is. They are tuned in to hear you do what you do. Yep. YouTube a bad motherfucker. YouTube is not social media. We call it the YouTube streets. Like you guys all carved out your own road in the world of YouTube, in the city of YouTube, on the streets of YouTube, and y'all running that goddamn lane. What do you think about just, I mean, as a contributor to the It Is What It Is podcast, are there moments where you sit back and you reflect like, I cannot believe I'm here? Are you still, do you learn or take from Mace and Cam anything that what have you learned about Mace and Cam that you didn't previously know prior to becoming an observer or a part of the podcast itself?
Yeah, well, that's twofold, two questions. One, and I think this is just good for people just to even understand. Like it's like the first part I'll say, just what naturally comes to my mind. Like it's cool to be a fan of somebody, right? And it's cool to also communicate to them like, yo, bro, me knowing you, I was a fan first. So I don't want to get so familiar with you that I lose that respect for you or that regard for you.
Right.
And I make sure that I keep that boundary up just because it's respect. And it's always going to be respect, but I never want us to get so familiar with each other. I like to say familiarity breeds contempt, where people start to cross lines and boundaries. And I think how you meet people, if you can remain in integrity of that and grow that, I think that that's important, right? So that's like the first thing with both of them. And I constantly talk about how grateful I am for them allowing me to exist in front of their fan base, because they, this is their fan base at the end of the day that they've introduced me to. I have, so for about the last year, I would talk to Mace 2 to 3 times a week, and we would have like long conversations. And Mace has been living a normal life, more like he was a superstar, still is a superstar, but then he went to go live a very normal life. And a lot of the things that he talk about, be it with his faith or be it with just how he views the world, or how we want to plan to either do things with the brand or the show. He's taught me that like it's almost like the star quality, right? With him, if you're not doing it the best, pursuing it the best, dressing the best, or just attacking what you're doing at the highest level, he doesn't want any involvement with it. And so I had never viewed everything like that, where he's not accepting, like I've been a part of him where I'll be getting a graphic done for him, or I'll be getting something done for him. And he's so meticulous and so detail oriented that, hey, unless I'm going to put out the best product, I'm not going to put out any product, and I'm not going to move on anybody's timeline other than mine. And I'm not doing it a way where there's an arrogance. It's just an expectation that whatever I do, when people see Mace and Mace's brand, it's done the best and at the highest level. And so prior to meeting both of them, I had never thought about that. I had never even crossed my mind to look at yourself as a brand and to present yourself as a brand. And just having so many conversations with him, he'll be like, hey, did you know that this thing is good about you? Or do you know that you have a talent with this? And he would be showing me like, yo, there's things that I can see that you may not be confident in. Like he was like, one thing he told me, he was like, yo, Mo, quit asking niggas for permission, because you're more smarter than the niggas you're asking, but I don't think you realize it. And he was like, just do what you want to do and you'll see. And so where I thought I was bold,
the results will bear themselves. The results of what you do will justify, because you're in a room full of thinkers, right?
Yeah.
You're a thinker.
But to me, just think about like this, like, if you don't have reps at doing something,
Mhm.
and then you're being considerate, and you don't like, but
Yeah.
I'm about to name something else. Prison is probably the most respectful place on earth, whether people know it or
Contrary
not.
to
So what people
popular opinion.
Yes.
Yes.
Niggas in prison, because they understand how ugly it can get if you do some goofy shit, will go out their way to respect you if they understand how prison works, right?
Mhm.
And so from prison, I almost took that same mentality towards everything, just being respectful to dudes and not wanting to overstep my boundaries. Where he was like, yo, I've been around the highest of the highest and the best of the best. And these are things that you do. Like, and so it's kind of like, I'm like and for lack of better words, the little cousin or the little brother on the show. You know what I'm saying, to those two, right? I'm
Right.
41 and I think they're about 8 or 9 years older than me. So it's like, man, let me come and take you up under my wing and kind of show you the qualities that you have that you may not see. Like, it's good stuff that you have, but it's other stuff that you
Yeah.
can do, and we
Utilize.
trust you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we trust. You hear me?
Yeah. You back on. Yep. You're back on. You out. You out, Mo. You went out.
I had an incoming call.
Yep. Yep. You back on now.
Yeah, so yeah, I knew he was gonna start calling in a second. So I was supposed to meet my business partner, but I'll
Right.
jump back in and you can clip it up.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's these guys telling me, go ahead and be who you're supposed to be and lean on these strong qualities and strengths that you have, right? That was like a great thing. Cam, I would talk to a lot with Cam before the show, during the show, after the show. And Cam has taught me, just from being himself, that you can be yourself tastefully, right? And so, very skilled. He loves when he's very good at when he needs to be Cameron Giles. He's very good when he needs to be Flea, and he's very good when he needs to be Killer Cam. And after you get around him for so long, you understand how you can introduce just different parts of your personality in different rooms,
Right.
where depending on what needs done, you can hear him. Or when you hear how intelligent he is, when he starts to describe, be it with something with football, be it with something with business, or I'll be describing something, and then he'd be like, basically, what you're saying is this. Like, hey,
Mm.
I can understand clearly what you're saying. And so the combination of being that, the combination of just all these things, man, that have either made me more visible to people. So here's the irony, right? The mass majority of the people in my life call me Reese my entire life, right?
Right.
It's Reese. Everybody calls me Reese, right?
Right.
Randomly, Cam was the one who said Mo. So everywhere I go in public now, I'm known as Mo, and I know I'm only known as Mo from people seeing me on their platform. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so, like, and I just always tell people, there's value in money, there's value in social currency, there's value in learning. I can't even quantify the value that I've gotten up to this point. You know what I'm saying? I can't even think about all of the benefits that I've gotten up to this point from being around them on their platform. And just the other day, Cam was talking about things that he's like, "Hey man, I want to do this with you, with us for the brand for 2025." And so, just for these guys to have regard and respect, and to always, I always look for places to contribute. If I see guys complaining about something, I'm always looking for a space to just help the brand move forward. And so I just appreciate the opportunity that they gave then, and appreciate just where things have developed, and where I see them going moving forward.
Hey Mo, listen, I know your time is valuable, bro. I got 5 things I want to shoot at you. And I just off the
But
top of your dome. I just want you to give me what you think about it. All right. Right. That's it for real, bro. And listen, bro.
okay.
So listen, Thug, Big Meech, home,
Yeah.
Dirk, Little Dirk, gone. I'm not even gonna say. I hope, hopefully
Yeah.
not for a long time. I hope, right? Right. Thug and Big Meech, home, Little Dirk, gone. Talk to
Yeah.
me about that.
Yeah, the one appreciative and very happy, and I'm pretty sure Young Thug is happy he's home. But I remember I loosely read some of his requirements and some of the guidelines that they've given him. I would like to believe, I hope that his life has been cleaned up so much that he doesn't slip up and basically violate so they can basically bang him. And I just remember the tale that they had was like fucking 20 years or 25 years, whatever the fuck it was. But I'm hoping that in some capacity, him getting out, but being out of Atlanta and him finding his way in his path, like as this in his new version of his life, because they've definitely put him in a prison outside of prison. And so I'm hoping that, that he has enough infrastructure and people around him to allow him to be on a path that he does enough years on probation that they can let him go early, because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy with what they're asking and requesting of him, being that how crazy his life is. Like there's a phased approach to cleaning your life up. And I know that from just experience.
Right.
And so I hope that, he can do it. With Big Meech, I think just honestly, I think Big Meech is what the starting and the progression of their show and their brand, and him being connected to 50 Cent, who's taken his son and basically edified his son, and all of these other brands. I think that in some capacity, I could be wrong, that Meech will have an ecosystem to either tell his story, make another series of his stories, do his life, or he'll have some initial capital. I know that prison obviously brings different ideas of things that you would like to get into and get out. I think that he'll have some capital from that to invest. But I just the thing when I think about Meech, I say, man, I don't know how you live that big and that flamboyant and that just that huge, and you not want to continue to do that. But of course, you have to have vehicles legally to do it, because this isn't back in the day where you're able to bust these moves, and you just don't have this. Like before, he had a crew with a code of ethics. You still have people cooperate, but it's even worse now. And so, if it was anything like that going on now, you're just dealing with a whole different fabric of human being. But I think he'll be all right. The Little Dirk situation is wild, man. And I just know how that can be a slippery slope, depending on what they have. And he can almost get charged with the body, being with that situation. But at this point, man, it's I don't know. Like when I seen it, you obviously you shake your head like, man. And if they've arrested him, that means they've built the case. And they'll try everything they can to stick some time on him, and they won't be trying to offer anything less than 10 or 15 years. You know what I'm saying? For something in a situation like this. And then when you start having these prosecutors who can use people's lyrics, and they can make whatever case they want to out of your lyrics, and you're talking about this isn't a jury of your peers, and it becomes like, I can take all of this social media stuff, I can take the King Von stuff, I can dirty up memories and make you look crazy. And as unfair as we say it is, we understand that that's what basically takes place in court. And so that's where you start to get nervous for Little Dirk, because it's not who's right or wrong in court. It's what picture gets painted and what the jury believes, and you being in a situation to say, hey, do I want to take this risk, whether I'm right or wrong, with my life? And so, it's a crazy situation, and I don't have all the facts. I'm just going off of what I've heard on social media, but that's my initial gut. Yes.
Yeah, we're going off what we see. Hey Mo, the presidential election.
Yeah,
did the Democrats hey, this is why I got sound effects now, Mo. Watch it. Hey, to the DNC.
You big dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy.
To the Democratic National Convention.
You big dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy.
You big cold-blooded jive ass turkeys. Y'all just handed. Y'all literally handed the Republicans the presidency, the Oval Office, the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court, the fourth branch. Listen, y'all just and not listen.
Here you go.
Here you go. You just listen. It was the most Laurel and Hardy. I know I'm old. It's the most Three Stooges, Benny Hillish merry band of fucking little rascal idiots. You had
the most
important factor here It is not. It is about the House and Senate, not so much about the presidency, right? It's about the Senate and the House, because 99% of the legislation that's going to have an impact on humanity comes out of the House and the Senate. However, correct. Mo, listen, I just read, we're going to get at least 2 Supreme Court justices retire within the next 4 years, Mo. So that means that Donald Trump, who has no opposition from the Democrats in the House or the Senate, they can't block confirmation. They can't filibuster a goddamn thing. That means Donald Trump and his band, right? They are in control with no restrictions of who go in that motherfucking Supreme Court. And on top of that, do you know who Kash Patel is?
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who's queued up to be the next director of the FBI, right? Man, look this motherfucker up, Mo. This motherfucker said the FBI. He wrote a book called Political Gangsters. He said the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, ICE, and ATF are all ran by like a criminal organization. He said he planned on doing away with all that shit.
Oh, wow.
Now, as a former criminal.
Former being the operative word.
I don't know why so many black people who stereotypically speaking have been referred to as criminals and thugs. I don't know why. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Donald Trump, get your hustle on. Do not wait for the government to do that. Do this. This is a light. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna be controversial. I think Black America needs Donald Trump. You know why? Because we have been lulled into believing that white America gave a fuck about what we think about what the fuck they do.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's 100% correct. I just say like this, man, and people don't like to hear this. It's never popular, but the world is what it is, and it's ran by who it's ran by.
Yes,
and they can paint you illusion to make you feel better to say, hey, this is for everybody, but it's not. The position if you're black and you have some form of abnormal prosperity, it is engineered, connected, and you're thriving because of white people. And whether you like it or not, it's just it's the stone cold reality of it. With Donald Trump being a president, there was a lot that was going on, but it was essentially there was groups and social classes of this country who was just basically saying like, we're cool with this gentleman right here in power, and regardless of what he's done, I don't care if he has felonies, I don't care if he has sex crimes, I don't care of any shortcomings, I don't care about him having people not rush to local police station.
Hey Mo, can I cut you off, bro?
You can go ahead.
Listen, hey Mo, do you know, and you are familiar because you are a property owner, you are a landlord, you're a glorified landlord with commercial. Mo, there are large tracts of people who come from the lower rungs of society, Mo, who coming out of the pandemic, they can't get a house. They can't rent a house or an apartment in a certain area due to their previous felony convictions.
Yeah.
There are people who, like you can never own a firearm. There are jobs that won't even consider you and I right now because of our previous brushes with the law. This motherfucker Donald Trump is in the highest office in the land, and he's in one of the most powerful. He's in the most powerful position in the world with 35 felony convictions. What does that tell your black ass about this country? It's a corporate. They don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, and so. Like, and I totally get and understand what you're saying. There's a lot of people who, if you've been in the system, you get the depth and the wisdom and the totality of what you're saying, right? And then there's people who've never been there and they don't get it. And just the reality of it is, bro, like this is what it is. This country is who it is. and you can fight against it, or you could just say, hey man, it is what it is, and I just have to find a way to get what's mine. But if you're living under an illusion, and if you're being guided by an illusion to think that we're all equal and this is everybody's homeland, it's not. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't say that with any malice in my heart. I'm a person. Remember, I told us at the beginning of this podcast, right? I said, deal with reality. The only way to improve in life, or the only way to get to where you really want to get to in life, is to deal with reality, deal with the facts. And so you didn't say anything other than a segment of facts. If these are the facts, just like in the court of law, what do they say? Let's source the facts and let's reason up from the facts. The facts of the situation is that's what this man is, that's what he's done. And if in me, I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican. I look at how can somebody help me? If it's Donald Trump right here in front of me, if it's Joe Biden in front of me, if Kamala Harris is in front of me, no matter who's in front of me, I don't have any emotional tie to anybody where I hate you. I live in America, right? And I want to keep on living in America. And I need to figure out unemotionally, how does this person, how does their policies affect the Senate, the state? How does money roll down? How do I get in the right seat of the car? But to sit here and have a conversation about who he is and what he is in and how much you hate him, it is the most boneheaded shit. Because I tell you like this, be it the Jewish people, be it the Russian people, be it the Indian people, when Biden was in office, they weren't saying like, "Oh, I'm not fucking with this dude because it's Joe Biden." They were saying, "Well, he's in office. I may not like it, but how do I work with him to get what I want?" Black people are the only people that I know of that we want to shut down. And by you saying I'm not fucking with somebody, it doesn't do anything to nobody but you. You said that you don't want to fuck with somebody, they're like, all right, nigga, like who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? Like,
Who
what?
gives
Are they gonna stop me to get my tea and crumpets, nigga?
Yeah.
No, they're gonna stop me from enjoying my McDonald's